Welcome to the inaugural edition of First Friday Open Studio. I was just checking out Wikipedia and reading kind of like when the concept of Open Studio started. Apparently it was a French thing. And they used to open, is 1700s, opening salons and painting studios and letting people go in and kind of just watch the artists in progress. One interesting thing is that that concept actually spawned kind of the beat poets and the poetry slam and the whole idea of just getting up on stage and letting people watch you compose a poem on the fly. And with that, I am gonna kick it over to Tim.
Oh, I'm the host now. This is lovely. Who gives me that power? Hello, friends of design. I'm Tim. I'm a designer here, in case we haven't met. If we haven't chatted, let's put a one-on-one on the calendar. I'd love to meet all of you. So how big is the design team now? 13-ish. I'm mostly the one designing all the icons in the app, which is why I thought, like me going on paternity leave soon, it'd be great if I can explain my process when designing these icons. So, but not just to the design team, but to anyone who's interested. There is a process, I promise you, and there are some tricks and stuff. But first, let me tell you a bit more about the background of icons at Abstract. Let me pull up the chat because I will need something from y'all later. This dribble shot is, how old is this? 2017, 2.5 years old. And at that point, like, these were probably most of our icons in our app. Some have changed slightly over time, but these are like the most important ones. We use icons to enforce certain do a better job of explaining certain actions throughout the app. They help as a shortcut. I think once you've read the label and then seen the icon next to it, the second time you're no longer going to read the label. You just you spot the icon and you know exactly what it does. So this is 2.5 years ago. If we compare that to today, our icons live in our design system in the iconography file. So if you look at it today, we have a lot of icons. This is fun. This is super fun. Another thing that might be of use, might be interesting, is we have two sets of icons. On the right, you see the thicker stroked ones. They are abstract icons, is what I could call them. You see them in our UI. If you spot them, you're looking at something that is abstract. We also have the icons on the left, and we'll see like there's a thinner stroke. They're multi-tone a little bit. They're different. This is the style of icons that we use for anything that isn't abstract but is in our system, which means design files and everything in them. This is the old page icon. Text layer, text style, layer style, raster image, folder symbol, shape, and color. And this set has also expanded dramatically over time, especially now with XD. XD doesn't use the same artboard icon as Sketch, and we could stick to one icon, but we want to make sure that the people who use XD feel at home in abstract. We want to make sure that the people who use Sketch also feel at home in abstract. We want to show them what they're familiar with. But the focus today is going to be around our icons. So, and here's where I'll need y'all's help. I'm gonna design an icon, maybe 2, maybe 3 if we want to get crazy. I don't think we're gonna get 3. But now I need y'all to tell me which icon I should design. It could be something in abstract, it could be something not related to abstract. Most of our icons, they relate to a function or a specific page or an action. Inside abstract, we have, I think the fun ones, some of the funner ones are the ones we use when you leave an emoji reaction in comments. I'm not going to do a Tim icon. What would a Tim icon be? A hat? And actually, this set was fun because the entire design team helped out with it. I asked people to pick an icon and then design it. I think Pine did the bear. I think Jordan did the hamburger. I did the cow. It's not a cow, it's a car, and other stuff. But these are, the most fun sets probably. Let's see, team icon. I'll do any icon except the team icon. They are impossible. It actually it would be a good one. Let's do a team icon. So I'm an almighty designer. I know everything. I don't need anything, to do my job, except the noun project is my biggest friend. So step 1, I need an icon for team. There we go. This is always my first step. The plan is never like, oh, I'm gonna download one of these and tweak until they fit. It's, I want to get a sense of what's a common metaphor for team. So you can see a bunch of different ways of doing it. A team of men in black. Fist bumping. I don't like those two particularly, but it's very common. Like a team, it's not 1, it's not 2. It tends to be 3 or more. I think you got a team. So that's cool. That's something I can work with. Pull down a bit. Yep, 3. What is with 3? That's a duo. That's not a team. So let me go back to abstract, new branch, team icon. Off we go. What's happening in the chat? Y'all are having too much fun. I don't like it when y'all have too much fun. Not doing it too. And I'm going to open the iconography file. Come on, file loading, file opening. Yes, way faster. I don't know what happened, but things are faster. This is how our file is structured. Honestly, it's a mess, but it kind of works. Like I said, we have a lot of files. Oh, these are super fun too. These are tiny. These are the tiny icons. If I zoom in, you can see, the pixel squares coming in. If anyone can draw a better @, add an, what is this, 8x8 pixel grid, please tell me, because people have no clue what this is when they look at it. But yeah, there's a lot. Now, team means people. We have our user icon right here. So, because team kind of relates to this user, I'm gonna duplicate it. Make sure it has the right distance. Keep our sketch file nice and clean. And then let me tell you a bit about what we're dealing with here. Our icons have maximum bounds of 16 by 16. That's not a lot, especially considering that what we typically do is we have a stroke width of 2 pixels. There are some tricks to creating a very consistent icon set. I think the first one is, do you pick solid icons or do you pick outlines? We went with outlines. The next up is what's the stroke width that you pick. We went for two. It's more friendly. It's a bit more chunky on screen. It has a specific style to it. But the reason I initially picked two is because you can easily center align everything on it. If you had a 1x1 pixel stroke, for example, for this web delivery icon, I would not be able to align this middle 1 pixel line pixel perfect without throwing the icon off balance. And I like balance. So we have stroke. We have 2 pixel stroke. The next thing is we have these very friendly end caps. We always end in a curve. We almost never have any sharp edges to our icons. It's very important. We also decided that with our pixel stroke, we're going to go with 2 pixel minimum of 2 pixel gap. Sarah, how much time do I have? Because I can go on for hours here.
Oh, you got 45 more minutes. You're good. Keep talking.
So we got the stroke, 2 pix stroke, minimum of 2 pix gaps, and the gaps mean like the distance between the elements here. Right here, we're doing it wrong. One day I will. Yeah, it's out of bounds. We need to fix that. It's not, there's another story there. We'll fix it. The support icon has 1 pixel, gaps, which isn't great, and we'll have to come back and fix that later. This one is another 1 pixel gap, it's kind of a cutout. So maybe we commit to that. Maybe we don't. But it is important that you use it consistently. We have a solid star here, and that is for the state change between unstarred and starred. When you can start projects, so it's okay that this is solid. And then these are the ones from Sketch, which have 1 pixel strokes. Some of them have multiple tones, while all of our icons are consistently 1 color, or icon gray, which works nicely on the dark and light background. Cool. Let me think, is there anything else? We also try to avoid unnecessary containers, and by unnecessary containers, I mean this. Having just an exclamation mark floating, it's a very fragile icon, so we did add one here. But overall, we don't want to, like, where the icon is sitting, it's mostly sitting in a button. That is the container. Even if by default, let me see, do I have anything here? By default, it might not be sitting in a container. I don't have a good example. On hover, if it's an action on hover, the container will become visible. So, God, a team icon. This is my canvas. This is where I'm gonna attempt to draw a team icon. Also, we have a lot of not this one, symmetrical shapes in our icons. It's circles, it's rectangles, 45-degree lines over 30 or 60 degree. Again, to keep that family feeling in there. And this one's like, it's a circle, and it's a half circle. I tend to be lazy when I design icons, but it works. I think it's simple. So to get started, we hide this, and all right, we got 3 people, means 3 faces. Issue number 1, trying to fit them all in. This is fun, but I've done this before. I got some tricks up my sleeve. we could play with, oh god, there we go. No. We could kind of merge them. You're not seeing this right now, like this. So this isn't a crazy way of doing 3 faces. Might get a bit busy, but this could work. Let's see if we can throw some bodies on these floating heads. This is going to be a busy icon, but let me try something. If I scoot them close enough together, this is really close. And then let me see if this works. Body number 1, body number 2, body number 3. No, fill. Let me put some borders on this. Center 2. Oh boy. What Hydra icon? This is not a Hydra icon. Oh, I get it. Never mind. Thanks, Jordan, for your invaluable input. Sorry, Jordan and I have a great working relationship. We just like to troll each other nonstop. Please don't think I dislike Jordan. He's my favorite. I can't say he's my favorite. He's my non-favorite. All right, let me see. The strokes are here. The gaps are here. I got 3. Kind of looks like people, kind of don't. It is quite busy, and we are still dealing with some corners here that maybe I can, make them a bit more friendly. Then, this is always fun, the squint test. If I move back, I squint my eyes, can I make out what this icon means? I don't know. Feedback, chat feedback. This is hard. There's a reason I don't like this icon. It is so hard to do, but I might have another trick. So we have 16 by 16 pixels to play with here. Let me just move this out. And let's say our little person in the front is standing closer than the others. Hold on while I fix this. We could, make better use of the space we have available here. Someone signed off. Someone just couldn't take it anymore. So, all right, now let me see. Person in the middle. Oh no, body. There we go. It's kind of standing more towards the front. This is okay. So, what do y'all think? Is this better or worse than the candles I had before?
It's definitely better than the candles.
Thank you. Better. Is it monster forehead? What do you mean? You can't even tell what the forehead is. There is one thing that kind of bothers me here is like there's a lot of solid gray in these areas. But I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Obviously, like I would, fill these little spots up a bit so they don't cause any weirdness. But this already turned out better than expected. So I need to clean this up now. As you can tell, this is a bunch of layers. And what we need, let me go over to this one, is one shape. Inside the shape, you can have multiple other shapes, but one overall shape, because we apply a color to it, which is this one, weirdly disconnected. By applying that layer style, it's not a color, it's a layer style. We can later easily overwrite this icon to be, gray, white, blue, or any shades that we agreed on that we use throughout the UI. So if you a button, see primary with an icon, oh boy, for example, in this button, I can change the label. I don't know, activate. But I can also change the icon. Oh, here we go. And then I would also set the color, obviously, to be white. This is the new inspect icon. By the way, it kind of looks like a crosshair. I don't know. This feels like a destructive button. If you want to make it destructive, let's make it destructive. There we go. But this is how we use our icons. And because of the way they're set up with layer styles, it allows us to use them in a variety of places quite easily. We can reuse them, and there's only one main icon. We don't have to create a gray one and a white one and a blue one, which is something we used to do because Sketch didn't support anything that we could use back then. But as Sketch evolves, as the drawing tools evolve, we can actually simplify our design system, which I give 2 thumbs up. Big fan of that. Anyway, that's why I need to clean up my icons. So let me quickly do this, unify these 3. Oops. Then punch a hole with these. And then these are stroked, so I need to unstroke them with all the shortcuts that I'm not using that are annoying that you can't really follow. But these are just, what do you call them? Yeah, they call them operations. The different operations. Do you want to, combine 2 shapes? Do you want to punch them out of each other? Expand stroke. I use Command Option O for the stroke thing. So let me go back. As you can tell, like this was a shape. It started as a rectangle, and then I rounded 3 of the 4 corners here, and I set a 2-pixel stroke around it. And then I do. Do you want to explain why you expand the stroke? It's to be honest, it's a technical limitation of Sketch. I cannot, like, all the shapes I just drawn give you, like, the result looks good, but they're all combined in different ways. How do I best explain this? For Sketch to put shapes together in a way that we can apply the right styling, they need to be not paths like this. They need to be solid shapes. Did I do a good job, Sarah? Or did I just get demoted for that? So let me turn them into solid objects. And now you can tell that instead of one shape, in the middle with the stroke, it's actually is the background shape with the top shape punched out. So now that I have this shape and this shape and this shape and this shape, I can select all of them and combine them, Command Option U. And what's cool is, like, I have all of the original ones in here. I have the 3 head outlines that I combined, and then I punched out the white areas in the heads here, and then I have the 3 different bodies. Now, I need to still fill up, these 2 bits. Oh, I see what happened. It misunderstood what I wanted to do. It actually did subtract, and I need to union them to fill that hole up. And I just duplicated it, and now we have one icon. Let me see what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put it right here. Oops. Get this. Now I'm going to apply our style, grayscale, and then we have icon default 05 gray 50. applied, and that's it. Actually, let's test this. Button icon primary from primary. Boop boop boop. All right. Did I rename it? Of course, I did not rename it. Gotta set good names. Naming is important. We also tend to name our icons to what they look like, what they are imagery of, not the function that we eventually want to give them. We haven't been great at it, but going forward, like, it makes it a lot easier to find the icons in the end. So team, all right, scroll, scroll, scroll. Here's our team icon. I need to change this to white. Team. It's still a lot of whites, but I honestly don't know how it would get rid of. There's too much solid white going on. In case like that, I would consult my fellow designers for some help. And mostly, the beautiful thing about designing in a team is you're never stuck. You can always ask people for help. The same with engineering. But yeah, that's a team icon. Sarah, do you think it's useful for me to do another one? Do something
I think
different?
so. I think one more that's maybe you know, we could verge outside the practical and do something a little bit wacky. Anybody have ideas?
Okay. Before I do that, let me commit my changes. There we go. Markdown. We have. Pym has asked me to do a set of text formatting icons, which are cool. I could do that. All right, a cloud. That's my favorite website. So, clouds. Has anyone ever seen a cloud that looks like this? I love the Pixar cloud. Clouds. Pixar clouds. These are fun. I want wallpaper in my room. I have in my kids' room. But they're a bit too messy. So let's try something like this. I dig something really simple like this. Also, the thing with simple shapes is that they generate less visual noise. If all of our icons looked like this with the amount of detail like this, it would overload the UI and make it a lot harder for the user to parse every single icon. We have a lot of icons in our UI, which is good. We have a good balance there. Was it live image? Oh, God. Jordan, I'm going to click the links that you sent me. Yes, that is me. So send me links. It's on you. Whatever's behind that link, it's on you. All right, a cloud. So cloud. Let me see. I'm just gonna mess around here a bit. I need like what? Three fluffy bits. I can do 4, 3. Okay, let's arrange them because clouds are all like solid at the bottom. Here's what's interesting. These are more wide than they are tall. Because we only have 16 by 16 pixels to work with, I want to make sure that we make the most out of that. For the team one, that wasn't an issue. We had so much to cram in there that we really, we had to use everything. We don't always do that. We try to have a good balance. We never do the 16 by 16 pixel rectangle, for example, if we need it, because it's just too heavy. But we do a 16 by 16 circle, because you have these empty gaps on all sides, so that makes them lighter. So even though 16 by 16 are the bounds that we're dealing with, if you need something square, more rectangle, we tend to do 14 by 14 to keep that weight. Yeah, this is not my finest work. Let's go back to the cloud. So we have a 2 pixel gap at the bottom, and we also have a 2 pixel gap at the top. But because the bottom of most of the clouds that we just saw is kind of straight, it puts the icon off balance. So I'm going to keep my 2 pixel padding at the bottom, but I'm going to try to reduce the top spacing here to 1 pixel. Let's see how this goes. So let's balance this out a bit. Jordan, is that an Avengers thing? You just said balance and stuff, because you're not wrong. I'm trying to do something. See, clouds are deceiving. I feel like Bob Ross painting right now. Now, I told you that I'm going to bump into some issues with clouds, and let me show you that right now. Hold on. Work on the punch out, cut out bits. This. So if I want to do this right, oh boy, and by right I mean I want to keep a 2 pixel stroke around it. See the same here and the same here. So yeah, this is like, I can kind of cut out some more if I want, but this is going to be tricky. Instead, let me unify all these shapes. This needs to be, hold on, there we go. Unify. Instead of fill, I'm going to go straight to border and see if this helps me a bit. So I need 2 pixel border. Good Lord. Outside looks like a cloud. Matt, I'm not going to ship this. But the inside looks way funky. But let me see. Let me play around a bit. All right, this is better. I have all these controls over my strokes inside Sketch. Like, where do I want the stroke to sit? Inside, center, outside. Ooh, outside looks even better. Let me try to work with that. And then I can also, oh, not here. I can control the softness of the edges. So this, all right, this shape works, but now we're stuck. Like we're going outside of the bounds where we want to be working in. So let's get to work tweaking our shape to get back close to where we were before. But the only difference is, the stroke is now sitting on the outside. What am I doing? I know how to use Sketch. Okay, that makes sense. All right, hold on, we're getting there. We got our 2 pixel stroke at the gap at the bottom, 1 pixel at the top. There's this one is bugging me a bit. Let me see what else. If I want, the cloud to be defined, and you have a nice definition here, and then a bit less here, you kind of lose it. So let me just play with the shapes a bit. This is not, yeah, not perfect, but we are getting there. Now this part is small, and this one feels too big. The squinty test, that's cool, feels a bit heavy on the top right. Can we move this? I don't even understand why y'all are watching this. This sounds so boring. I'm having fun though. I'm having a ton of fun. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. Can we do this? That bounces a bit more. Let me just quickly fix this. Bum, bum, bum. All right, I can be happy with that. It's a lovely little cloud. Fog. I'm not going to design fog. How would I do fog? Damn fine cloud. All right. This is fun because the techniques used here are slightly different from the team icon. So now, again, the same cleanup. So what I did is I created one shape out of all these shapes, and it has a stroke on the outside, which we've learned Sketch cannot really apply our layer styles to. So, oh no, I was hoping this didn't happen. Sketch has a long history of Boolean bugs, I think is what they call them. And oh, yes. It means that what we're doing here, combining all these shapes and then strokes on the outside and then turning the stroke in a solid shape, there's a lot of math going on in the background. And to be honest, they have gotten really, really good at it. Let's say the past year or two. And it's been a while since I saw one of these little artifacts. This was easy to solve. It's just a shape that they generated, God knows why. So clean up, put it back where it belongs. Grayscale, icon, default, and we have a cloud. Yeah, it's a good cloud. But yeah, we have, let's do a quick check. I want to make sure, you know, want to make sure this works. Oh, I'm going to try it another way too. To the cloud. Cloud. That's a good looking button. Then do I have access to dude? Because we use yes, sometimes we use our icons bigger. And someone broke my overrides. That's a bummer. Is there anything else? I think this is, let's try this. So this is a blank state. Move out here a bit. Make sure you can see what is happening here. This is what we use in the app for blank states. And then we say cloud. I can't type. Cloud. And then it's big. And then you have a button. Oops. So use them small, use them big. All works. And the cloud holds up. I'm a bit bummed about these sharp inside bits, but that would probably take me another hour to figure those out. And that's how icons get done. I think, yeah, just a quick recap. Like, it's super important that you keep the style. Being able to design your own custom set of icons, it is a luxury for any app to have that. There are many icon sets out there that you can purchase. Some of them they're cheap. If you ever do that, I don't know, for a hobby project or something, make sure you stick with one set. Tricky thing there, it might not have all the icons that you need, but once you start combining them, you have a lot of nuanced differences between them. The stroke, the color, the weight, the balance of it. It's all important. So yeah, this is our icon set.
Thank you.
That's it.
That was fantastic. Thank you for that, Tim.